When Gaston Glock entered military trials, he had no prior experience building firearms. Yet he created an icon. From the original 17 to the newest experimental designs, here is every Glock model ever released. First up, 1980s. Glock 17, the pistol that started everything. When it entered Austrian military service in 1982, it rewrote what a modern service handgun was supposed to be. Up next, Glock 17L. The standard frame stretched into a competition platform. A longer barrel and extended sight radius gave competitive shooters more to work with from the factory. Now this is the Glock 18, the only fully automatic pistol in the entire Glock lineup. Built for special operations units, it remains one of the rarest and most restricted models ever produced. Glock 19, a compact version of the original that went on to become the most carried pistol in the world. Law enforcement and civilians alike chose it above everything else. Next on the list is 1990s. Glock 17C. Factory-cut ports in the barrel and slide were Glock's answer to competitive shooters demanding flatter muzzle movement between shots on the standard full-size frame. Glock 18C. Putting compensation ports on a fully automatic pistol was an acknowledgement that firing one without them was barely controllable. Even with them, it demands real skill. Glock 19C. The standard version of Glock's most popular model proved that even a compact pistol benefits from keeping the muzzle down during rapid follow-up shots. Glock 20. Glock's answer to the 10mm, a cartridge originally developed for the FBI that demanded a frame strong enough to handle serious pressure with every shot. Glock 20C. The 10mm generates enough energy that compensation ports made a genuine difference here. The vented version is noticeably more manageable under rapid fire. Now this is the Glock 21. Glock brought the 45 ACP into its polymer frame lineup and immediately gave that classic cartridge one of the highest capacity magazines it had ever been offered. Glock 21C. The 45 ACP is not a snappy round, but at Glock's capacity levels, the compensated version still delivers a noticeably flatter shooting experience at speed. Glock 22. For nearly 2 decades, this was the standard issue sidearm across American law enforcement. More police officers carried it than any other pistol during that era. Glock 22C. The 40 caliber has a reputation for sharpness. Factory compensation softened that characteristic and made the most common police pistol of its era more comfortable to shoot fast. Up next, Glock 23. A compact 40 caliber that gave officers who wanted a smaller duty gun the same cartridge their colleagues carried in full-size service pistols. The next one, Glock 23C. Adding ports to a compact 40 caliber addressed the sharpest edge of that round's recoil impulse, making faster follow-up shots noticeably more consistent. Glock 24. A long slide 40 caliber built for competitive shooting. The extended barrel stretched the sight radius and gave serious competitors a factory-accurate option in that caliber. Glock 24C. Competition shooters who wanted the sight radius of a long slide found exactly that combination here. Glock 25. Designed for markets where civilian ownership of 9mm is restricted, this compact 380 ACP used a blowback system unique within the Glock range. Glock 26. The subcompact 9mm that proved Glock could shrink its formula without losing what made it reliable. It created an entirely new category of everyday carry pistols. Up next, Glock 27. Shrinking the 40 caliber into a subcompact gave officers a backup gun that shared ammunition with their primary duty pistol. That compatibility made it extremely practical. Glock 28. A subcompact 380 ACP restricted to markets with caliber limitations on civilian firearms. It brought the subcompact format to shooters who could not legally own a 9mm. Glock 29. Compressing the 10mm into a subcompact frame created one of the most powerful pocket-sized pistols ever made. Hunters and outdoorsmen carry it as field protection. Glock 30. A subcompact 45 ACP that kept the caliber's loyal following happy while giving them something small enough for everyday concealed carry. Glock 31. The 357 SIG cartridge was designed to replicate the terminal performance of the 357 Magnum from a semi-automatic pistol. This full-size frame was built around it. Glock 31C. The 357 SIG generates considerable muzzle energy, and the compensated version made the full-size platform meaningfully more manageable for fast, accurate shooting. Glock 32. A compact 357 SIG that brought high-velocity performance into a more portable package, appealing to professionals who wanted serious ballistics in a smaller carry gun. Glock 32C. Compact framing combined with factory ports gave 3.57 six-shooters a way to manage that cartridge's notable muzzle rise in a gun sized for daily carry. Next, Glock 33. Fitting the 3.57 SIG cartridge into a subcompact frame produced one of the most energetic pocket pistols in the Glock catalogue. Small in size, serious in performance, Glock 34. Built specifically for practical shooting competition. The extended 9mm slide, lighter trigger, and longer sight radius made it competitive straight from the factory box. Glock 35. The 40 caliber equivalent of the competition long slide, giving practical shooters who preferred that cartridge a factory-ready platform matched to their discipline. Now this is the Glock 36, the thinnest 45 ACP Glock ever made. A single-stack magazine kept the grip slim enough for shooters who found standard Glock frames too wide to carry comfortably. Moving on to 2000s, Glock 20 SF. Glock reduced the grip circumference to make the 10mm accessible to shooters whose hands found the standard frame too large to hold properly. Up next, Glock 21 SF. The short frame 45 ACP opened the full-size platform to a wider range of shooters by reducing the distance from the backstrap to the trigger. Glock 29 SF. A subcompact 10mm already demands a confident grip. The short frame version made that grip more achievable for shooters with smaller hands. Glock 30 SF. Combining subcompact dimensions with short frame ergonomics gave the 45 ACP platform its most accessible carry configuration across the entire lineup. Glock 37. Glock developed an entirely new cartridge for this model. The 45 GAP delivered 45 caliber performance in a case short enough to fit a standard size frame. Then Glock 38. The compact version of the 45 GAP platform brought Glock's proprietary cartridge to officers who preferred a mid-size duty gun over a full-size service pistol. Glock 39. Fitting 45 caliber performance into a subcompact frame was exactly what the GAP cartridge was designed to make possible. And this model proved the concept worked. Continuing with 2010s, Glock 17M. Developed at the FBI's request, this variant incorporated internal refinements that Glock later carried into the 5th generation design adopted across the civilian market. Up next, Glock 19M. The compact FBI variant that fed directly into the 5th generation development process. Its agency-specific upgrades became standard features on the generation that followed. Glock 19X. A full-size grip paired with a compact slide was Glock's entry for the US military's handgun trials. It was the first Glock to leave the factory in Coyote tan. Then Glock 30S, fitting a slimmer slide onto the subcompact 45 frame, created a carry gun that concealed more easily while keeping every round the standard version held. Up next, Glock 40, a long slide 10mm built for hunting and outdoor carry. The extended barrel improved velocity, and the optics cut made mounting a red dot straightforward. Glock 41, a competition 45 ACP, with a long slide that reduced recoil and extended the sight radius, giving practical shooters a factory-ready option in that classic caliber. Glock 42. The first 380 ACP Glock designed from the outset for the American market. Slimmer and lighter than anything in the lineup before it, it redefined pocket carry. Next, Glock 43. A single-stack 9mm that gave concealed carriers the caliber they wanted, in a frame thin enough to disappear under everyday clothing. Glock 43X. Extending the grip on the slim 9mm added 4 rounds to the magazine, and gave shooters a more secure hold without making the gun any harder to conceal. Glock 45. A compact slide on a full-size frame combined the handling advantages of both configurations and became a popular duty choice for agencies wanting capacity without bulk. Glock 46. A rotating barrel system developed specifically to meet German police procurement standards. It remains one of the most mechanically unusual pistols in the entire Glock range. Glock 47. Developed for US Customs and Border Protection, it shares slides and magazines with other models in the lineup, simplifying logistics across an agency issuing multiple configurations. Glock 48. A full-length, single-stack 9mm that gave shooters the grip length of a service pistol in a frame slim enough for comfortable inside-the-waistband carry. And our last category is 2020s. Glock 44. The first rimfire pistol Glock ever produced. It matches the size and feel of the standard 9mm, making it an ideal low-cost trainer for building fundamental skills. Glock 49. A compact frame paired with a full-length slide gave this model improved velocity and sight radius, while keeping the grip short enough for more discreet carry. Glock P80, a limited edition recreation of the original prototype submitted for Austrian military trials in 1980. It honors the pistol that started the entire Glock story.